Hey everyone, I am back finally after about a month-long absence from creating videos because I've been honestly having too much fun on my travels. Currently, I'm in Lisbon, Portugal, which is absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend it. In today's video, I want to talk about a business model that you can easily make $500 per week or more with about a few minutes per day, as long as you outsource a good amount of the work that's involved or you're very efficient at what I'm going to be showing you. But the business model that we're going to be covering is different than business models that I've covered in the past. So if you watch my videos, you know that I love list building, you know that I love niche sites. Today we're going to be talking about arbitrage. Now, arbitrage, what is it? Basically, it's where you can find different pricing points in different markets for the same commodity. Now, that sounds very complicated, so I'm going to give you a much more simple story of this when I was younger, because I had an entrepreneurial friend at a young age that did this for a few bucks to get a little bit extra than his allowance that he got from his parents. So, what he did was he would go to garage stores and pawn shops and he would look for CDs that were worth a good amount of money. So sort of like older CDs. He was really into older and classical music, kind of an old soul because he was only like 13 or 14 years old at the time. But he would know about which CDs are worth what amount of money. And then he would buy these CDs for a cheap price. And then he would sell them on eBay, and he had his dad help him out with it, sell them on eBay for a profit. So it's essentially arbitrage is like you're a middleman, right? So an example of this, one of the CDs that I remember him talking about is a band called the Traveling Wilburys. Now, the Traveling Wilburys were a power group. George Harrison, Tom Petty, Roy Orbison, Bob Dylan. I'm not really honestly that familiar, which I'm sure would just be insane for older people watching. I'm sure he's a big deal too. Traveling Wilburys were a big band, and they created a CD, and they had a super group. They were just around for a short period of time. Their CDs were kind of rare, and they actually were worth more money when CDs were more, people were more into CDs at the time. But generally, you could sell these on eBay for, this is 28 euros, so about like 45, $40 American per CD. Well, sometimes you can find these CDs like this and similar ones for like a buck, $2 in a garage store or at a pawn shop for $2 or $3. So if you can buy these CDs for $2 or $3 and then you can resell them on eBay for $40, well, now you've made a huge, obviously crazy profit margin, and it beats the whole minimum wage of working at McDonald's for $6 or $7 per hour. Even as a little kid, if you can understand the way arbitrage works and you have a little bit of knowledge of what's valuable or more valuable than what it's being valued at in a different market. Now, this is one way that a lot of people are making a lot of money, and I know there's a YouTuber called Rake and Profit, and he does the whole model where he finds things at garage stores and then he sells them on eBay. But there is a way to do this completely digitally that's actually, I think, going to save you a lot of time. You don't need to go into garage stores or pawn shops to be able to do it. And in a lot of cases, you're going to have a higher profit margin. So I want to show you the digital ways that you can use arbitrage to very easily make $500 per week in a few minutes of your time per day. So to take advantage of arbitrage digitally, you just need to find a place where there are two different markets that are offering the same services and see if there's a difference in price. Now, one great example of this is there's a website called freelancer.com that's very popular and a lot of people go to get work done and to also be able to provide their services for money. And you're going to notice on freelancer.com, there's lots of different jobs that are available offering a wide variety of different pricing points. Okay. Now, another place where you can get service work done for a very different price range is a site called Fiverr, which a lot of us are very familiar with. I've talked about Fiverr before in the past, and in a lot of cases, you can get these services done for just $5. Now, I want to give your attention to this right here. I honestly just looked at freelancer.com from the top of the website. So I just came to Freelancer and then looked at the top gigs available. I've only spent about 45 seconds on this so far. And then I went to Fiverr and then I just searched for the gigs that I found. So for example, here, I found here that this person's looking to have a set of videos be transcribed into text. And he says that he has about 22 minutes in videos to get transcribed. Okay. Now, when I go to Fiverr, I notice here that there's a gig for $5 where I can get audio or video transcribed up to 20 minutes for $5. So I might have to order 2 gigs here, which would cost me $10. So I can get this service taken care of on Fiverr for $10, and I would get paid getting this done for this person that wants it created for $65, giving myself a profit of $55. So it would be very simple the way I would work this out. I would just contact this guy and say, hey, $65, I can transcribe your videos. That's not a problem. And then I would just say, let me take your order or whatever. And then he would say, okay, like how long would it take for you to complete this order? Then I would go to Fiverr. I would order 2 of these gigs and I would talk to this guy and said, okay, like how long would it take for you to deliver this gig of 20 minutes of transcription for videos? And he would say, okay, that would take me about 2 days. And see, he says, this guy actually is on vacation right now, so I might have to tell this guy to be a little bit patient. But he says that he'll be back in 2 days to complete orders. Then I would say, okay, it's going to take me about 5 days to complete this order. Is that okay with you? He says, yes. This guy gives you the money for $65. You complete the gig for $10, and you just get a nice $55 profit. Now, really, this only takes probably about 5 to 10 minutes of your time to make about $55. You just have to send a message to both the provider and you also have to send a message to the buyer of your services, and you're just the middleman creating the transaction and bridging the transaction between the two. Everybody's happy. This guy provides the service that he's looking to sell. This guy's happy because he gets the service done for the price that he wanted to get it done for. So it's very simple arbitrage. You're finding 2 markets providing the same service at different price points, and you're the middleman between those different price points. Now, another great example of this, if you want to simplify and you don't want to actually like search and find and then search on Fiverr, which is a great option, but it is adding an extra step there. Another great option is solo ads. I've talked about solo ads constantly in my YouTube videos, and there's a huge market here. If you go to these solo ad groups here, like this one, for example, has over 28,000 members in it. So that's over 28,000 people that are interested in buying and selling traffic. Buying and selling traffic is a huge market on the internet, and there's so much business that's being done here daily. Well, the one thing that we've been talking about is arbitrage is where you can buy something for a really cheap price and sell it for a much more expensive price. Now, like what I've talked about in other videos is that solo ads are generally on people's sales pages about $1 per click, but you can get them for 30 cents per click just by contacting the sellers and negotiating a better price. This is the first sales page that I can find on this group with 28,000 members in it. And when you go to this sales page, Bullseye Solo Ads, and I'm not picking on this guy because pretty much all quality solo sellers sell their solo ads on their sales page, or they list their solo ads for an expensive price. So this is very, very typical. This is not an atypical pricing point. Well, you're going to notice here that this guy is charging for 100 clicks $60 for his lower quality traffic and $80 for his higher quality traffic. So even if you took his cheapest traffic, you're still looking at 60 cents per click, which means that if somebody wants, say, like 500 clicks, and this is 54 cents for 500 clicks, they're going to pay $270 to get this 500 clicks. Now, I'm not saying that I know that this guy will sell to me for 30 cents per click, but I know that there are quality solo ad sellers where I can negotiate a price and get 30 cent per visitor traffic sold to me. So I can become the solo seller. I can be the seller of traffic. I can buy traffic. I don't even have to have traffic. You don't even need to have an email list. You could be incapable of personally providing traffic, but yet you could still sell traffic because you can find sellers that are going to be willing to sell it to you for much cheaper. And then you can buy traffic, you're going to buy traffic for really cheap, and then you're going to sell it for a premium price. And traffic generally sells itself. So if you have a sales page and you're getting testimonials, people are going to come and buy stuff from you. When they make these 500 click, 1,000 click orders, let's say hypothetically somebody comes and buys 1,000 clicks from you for $520. Well, you're going to be buying those 1,000 clicks from another person for $300. So that's a $220 profit on a 1,000 click order. You don't believe that I can get traffic for 30 cents per visitor? I can give you many, many examples. Maybe I'll just give you one for the video because I don't want to waste time talking about whether you can get traffic for 30 cents, because the answer is 100% you just can, okay? And Deanna Noble is an example of one seller where I've actually got traffic for 25 cents per click. So for people that don't believe that 50 cents or don't believe that 30 cents per click is available, you see, I was trying to order a 1,000-click order here. Can you deliver it for 25 cents per click? And she said, oh, only 500. So I get the 500 delivered elsewhere. But getting traffic for 25, 30 cents per click when you're negotiating directly with the solo seller is 100% possible. Then you can just list your ads, get people to buy your solos for a much higher price, and you don't even have to deliver any of the traffic yourself. You're just doing arbitrage. You're buying at a low price and selling at a higher price. Easy, easy business model. Now, in the next few minutes, I want to show you how you can ramp this up, outsource it, so that you really don't have to do almost any work involved in making this money. Okay, so as promised, there are two ways that I know about that you can outsource most of this so that almost all the work's gone, yet you can still make a good amount of money from it. One of the ways is to get a virtual assistant. Now, there are a ton of people that are available to doing this. This is an example of one virtual assistant group with over 3,500 people in here. And what I will do is I'll explain the process of what they want to do, which is basically find people that are willing to buy traffic by posting advertisements, having conversations with people, however they can get around getting the actual customer. And what I'll do with them is I'll say, hey, if you can sell my traffic for 60 cents per visitor, then I will give you 10 cents per visitor of every sale. Okay, so it's very simple for me. I can buy the traffic for 30 cents, and that doesn't take up almost any of my time. Then I can sell the traffic for 60 cents through my virtual assistant, which she's going to do all the work for me, she or he, whoever it is. And then I would just give them a percentage of the profit. So almost all the work is taken off my shoulders, and yet I'm still making money every day, and then I'm paying a virtual assistant to do a good portion of the work for me. What you will ask yourself is, why don't these virtual assistants just do arbitrage themselves instead of working for you? Well, what you will find is that the majority of people don't feel comfortable in the role of being a business person. They feel more comfortable in the role of being a worker. Now, that's not to say that it's good or it's a bad thing. It's just the way that it is. Everybody has a different comfort zone. And what you always want to do in business is you want to be the business person. You don't want to be the person making money. You want to be the person that's making money work for you. Okay? You want to leverage your assets. You don't want to be trading your time for money, which is something that I never recommend. Okay, so that's one great way to do it. You just get a virtual assistant. You have some kind of agreement where they're finding customers for you and you're paying them a percentage of their sales. Now, another thing to think about here is you don't need to just have one virtual assistant. If you're creating an agreement where you're giving them a percentage of the profits, why wouldn't you have 2 virtual assistants or 10 or 20? It doesn't really matter. There's no real limit here because there's no money coming out of your pocket. You're always getting more than what you're spending. So you can essentially scale up and get as many of these workers, these people that are going to be making money and making sales for you and themselves, involved in your business. So you're basically just leveraging a positive return on investment situation that you can do time and time again. Now, if you don't want to get a virtual assistant or you have trouble working with people, delegating and managing work that's outsourced to other people, another great option for you, and this is going to be, some people are not going to like this, personal taste, whether you like it or not, I guess. One thing that you can do is you can join all these solo ads groups, and there are many of them. So we have dozens upon dozens of solo ad groups, and you can see I'm scrolling down here by the sheer massive number of solo ad groups where people are buying and selling traffic. Now, what I can do is I can get what's known as a Facebook auto poster. Now, this isn't something that I personally do, and there are some people that are going to consider this unethical, and I understand their concerns. I think it's a little bit of an ethical gray zone, and I don't think that it's really that terrible, because essentially if you didn't have a Facebook auto poster, what you would do is you'd be manually posting to each one of these groups individually. Now, by having a Facebook auto poster, it's just going to automatically post to these groups what you would be manually posting anyways, so it's just doing it in a more efficient, faster way. Nobody would consider you unethical or a spammer if you went into these groups separately and you posted manually in all of them, yet people tend to not agree with it as much when you have a tool that's going to automate the entire process for you, which to me doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. The more that I talk about it, the more that I think that it's completely ethical. But anyways, if you do a Facebook search for Facebook auto poster, you can go through here. There's a bunch of different options. Some are better than others. You want to do your reviews here. You find a Facebook auto poster that's going to work well for you. All you have to do is join these groups, connect the groups to your Facebook auto poster, put in your advertisement. So a good idea to get what you want to write for your advertisement. You can just look at people that are doing a really good job of selling solo ads. What are the advertisements that they're writing to get customers to their ads here? So I'm going to go to my Facebook group for solo ads, ad swaps, and banking, which you can find on Facebook as well. And you can see the advertisements that people are sending to try and get more customers. Now, what you really want to look at is who's actually selling a lot of solo ads, because those people are the ones that are having the best ads. And this Gary Baker guy, I've seen him around for a while. I'm pretty sure that he sells quite a lot when it comes to traffic. And you can just take a look idea. I don't recommend that you copy him completely, but you can get a good idea. If you just create a simple little advertisement here, you throw it into your Facebook auto poster, and it's going to automatically post to all those Facebook groups for you. You can launch that advertisement several times per day, and without taking any time out of your day, you can make these solo ad sales that you can get delivered through arbitrage and make nice tidy little profits when it doesn't take any of your time and there's no real service work that you have to provide in the end anyways. Also, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, why not go to some garage sales, see if you can find some stuff for a few bucks and flip it on eBay for a nice tidy profit. It's not going to be the easiest thing that you do, and it's not going to be probably as scalable as digital arbitrage, but it can be a whole lot of fun, and there are people online that are making good money from doing physical arbitrage as well. So like I said in the beginning, this video features a completely different business model than what I usually focus on in the past. What I want to know from you in the comments below is, what do you think of arbitrage? Is it a business model that you think would be lucrative? Is it a business model that you think you could ramp up? If it is, then why isn't it something that you're diving into? Okay. As always, thank you for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you liked it, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike, because I use your feedback to figure out what videos to create in the future. I will see you guys in the next one, and I will talk to you soon.